Alrighty, guys, I recorded this commentary once, and it was too long, surprisingly. I thought I was going to run out of things to talk about, but it actually was too quick. So, I'm going to make this video to tell you guys what's coming up on my channel, because there's going to be a lot of things changing. First of all, commentaries are coming back. You know, gameplay commentaries, including this one. Because I'm kind of out of like subject matter as far as unboxings and technology wise to do, because my computers are built and all that stuff's, you know, out of the way, and so at this point all I've got to do is talk about things, really. And the things that I'm going to be talking about include, I'm going to do a video about the ASRock Extreme 11 motherboard, which is a psychotic motherboard that I dream of owning someday, and I'm going to talk to you all about why I want to own it someday. The Gigabyte X79S UP5, to show you how old this list is. I already own that board. It's already in my computer. But I'm still going to talk about why I decided to go with that board and what makes it especially awesome for me and why I love it. The AMD Radeon HD 7970 GHz edition, currently the world's fastest single GPU. And what that means for the hopefully future 7990. We might never see it at the rate we're 2 months away from the refresh on these cards, you know, assuming. And so we might not see a 7990, but if we do, this is probably what we'll see, and I'm going to discuss that later in, you know, another video. And then I was checking out some raid modes that I'm considering for like a future computer build, and one of the options out there is RAID 10. And I was looking into it, and the more I looked into it, it became a really pointless, it just didn't make sense to use. And so I'm going to discuss that with you guys as to why I think it is useless. On a separate little note sheet here, I wrote down how my computer started as a flash drive, and that is incredibly true. The first thing I bought was a USB flash drive, and it ended up causing me to buy 2 full computers. And I kind of explained this in a RAM unboxing a while back. If you can find that, congratulations to you. But for those of you who can't, I'm going to explain this in a commentary later on. And we're going to move on to my third and final note sheet here. The Computer Gods on My Side series. Now this is a little 3-part. It was originally 4, but I deleted one of them. So it's a 3-part series about me originally planning my AMD system and how everything worked out perfectly, it seemed. So, like, I wanted the Phantom 410, the NZXT Phantom 410, and the more I looked into it, the more impractical it became, because I'd have to do massive modding to get any sort of water cooling in it like I needed. So in the end, it just wasn't worth it for me. I wanted something that's kind of plug and play, because this is my first water cooling build ever when I do it, you know. I don't want it to be too much of a hassle. And as such, I could use the Phantom 410, and you guys know what case I decided on by now, I hope. But I'll do a video about that, and yeah, just a more in-depth video about that. Part 2, I had a little dilemma with my water cooling. Once I decided on the Switch 810 case, I wanted to put a radiator in the top and the bottom, but sadly I also wanted to keep 6 hard drives. If you look at the Switch 810, and especially if you own one, you know that you can't do both of those things. And so, yeah, I had to make the sacrifice that I'm going to have to take out the bottom hard drive bay eventually and just deal with it and put a radiator down there. But in the end, this actually turns out for the better. I can only put 2 hard drives in the little hard drive cage, and I've got 1 free spot. How does that help me in the future? Well, if we move down to the next thing here, I had a problem trying to find what fan controller I wanted to use, because with the amount of fans that a water-cooled system has, you can't really use the motherboard fan headers alone. And I wanted to use the Lamptron FC Touch. If you know about that fan controller, you know pretty well that it is, you know, user controlled. You cannot have it change itself based on temperatures and stuff like that. And so, actually I think you can, but, you know, I need something a little more configurable and controllable than that. So I was looking at the Coolant something or other. It's a fan controller, it's, you know, computer plug-in, blah blah blah. But the more I looked into it, the more it wouldn't work, because it takes up a 5.25 inch bay, and especially at the time of my planning, and even still to date, I do not have a spare 5.25 inch bay. It can also fill a PCI slot, but it's a green PCB and it's like 3 slots thick or something, and it needs cooling on it, and yeah, it was just too much of a mess. I wasn't going to deal with it. So I remembered that Corsair makes a little thing called the Corsair Link. You've probably seen the unboxing on my channel, but they make the Corsair Link, and that also helps out my fanboyism because, you know, I love Corsair, so just another Corsair product in my system makes me really happy. So yeah, I'll discuss all those topics in more detail later on. Also, as I think I said earlier, gameplay commentaries are making a comeback. And the one thing that I don't know if I mentioned or not, I can't even remember, and it's only like 6 minutes into the video, but I'm gonna go back to my reviews because I had a list of products that I wanted to review, and it turns out the only thing I actually reviewed was the Apple Airport Extreme, and there were people waiting on reviews, and this is almost 6 months ago when I said I was gonna do these. I never did them, so I'm a terrible person, and hopefully I can get back into making these reviews, and hopefully you guys will enjoy them. So yeah, I'm also going to do gameplay commentaries. Yeah. It's like the 3rd time I've said that, but yeah. I think that's about it. I'm checking to see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, I almost forgot this. I've got like 4 separate computer build videos. One is taking apart Big Red. One is rebuilding Big Red. One is building the Big Red Resurrection, which is what all these new parts are for. And one is taking apart and rebuilding Big Red Resurrection, which is changing out the motherboard for the Gigabyte X79S UP5. And so all 4 of these total up to 120 gigabytes of video data. Holy crap. Okay. So that's going to take a while to even import into Sony Vegas. That's just how long, that's how much video that is. Altogether, it's over 12 hours worth of video, if I recall correctly. And so if I'm going to put, you know, people want to see the full length, full build version, like real time. It took me 3 hours to build. They want to see 3 hours of video. I didn't think people were interested in that, but there were some people that said they wanted to see it, so I guess I'll do it. It's not that much extra effort on my part, it's just a lot of video rendering. Like, this computer, even as fast as it is, I think it's honestly a bottleneck of Sony Vegas. It renders at 4:1, which means a 3-hour video would take 12 hours or something, you know, to render. Plus, my internet's kind of slow, so it's going to take, like, a whole day to upload. But you know, in the end, it'll get done, but I'm just kind of warning you now that that's going to take a while for me to sort through and edit it and make the cuts at the right spots and just render it in general and upload it all to YouTube. So, yeah, the build logs are coming, but they're coming slowly because, you know, I do go to school, obviously. I'm 14, what do you expect? So, I've obviously got schoolwork. Right now I'm on break, which is why I'm up at 2 in the morning making commentary. But I need to get to bed soon anyways. But, you know, I've got schoolwork, so I've got to kind of focus on that and keep my grades relatively up. I don't want to, you know, be a super senior someday, so. But anyways, I think I'm rambling at this point, and I'm almost out of time on this gameplay. So I think I'm going to wrap things up here and just say, if you enjoyed the video, please click the like button and leave me a comment. If you want to see more of my videos, please click subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you later.